Good evening. Welcome, friends, families, and soon to be graduates of the class of 2023. The simultaneous pursuit of the best self and the common good. This is the epic endeavor for each Millbrook student. This is the worthy challenge they face. This is exactly as it should be in a community whose motto is non sibi sed cunctus, not for oneself, but for all. Tonight, we gathered to honor Millbrook excellence in the class of 2023. Tonight, we will recognize those sixth formers whose efforts, performances, and contributions to the greater good have distinguished themselves and their school. Cell phones on silent, please. Let's give our undivided attention to this class and these moments. Underformers, tonight is a great night to set your sights. Before I turn things over to Morgan Ainley and Chris Diaz, I want to call this year's prefects to the stage. Morgan Ainley, Rocco Boland, Chris Diaz, Alec Enchel, Liam Kennelly, Beth Najork, Scout Swift, and Eliza Withers Clark. Stand here. We'll hand them right after. This class, the class of 2023, has come a long way in 4 years. I cannot recall a more poised, positive, grateful, and caring group of elected leaders in my 21 years in independent school education. Please accept a gift from me and know that your names will be placed on a plaque in Schoolhouse, along with prefects from the past and prefects of the future. I ask our student body, parents, and faculty to join me in applauding you for your extraordinary leadership this year. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to turn to prefects Morgan Ainley and Chris Diaz to lead the prize night ceremony.
We want to take this opportunity to thank our parents and grandparents for their generous support of the Sixth Form Gift Fund. The class of 2023 terrace at Anthony House is a perfect tribute. Outdoor spaces were very important to us during our time at Millbrook. The idea that future celebrations will be held on this terrace named for the class of 2023 is both a symbolic and literal honor. We cannot wait to gather there at our 5th class reunion. Thank you to our families and to Millbrook for this fitting space to forever be named for the class of 2023.
On behalf of the entire Sixth Form, we would like to thank the faculty and staff at Millbrook for doing the behind-the-scenes work, guiding and helping towards our success at Millbrook. Without you all, we would not be walking this stage tomorrow. With that being said, I would like to formally introduce the 2023 senior class gift by stating that we will be donating money towards the construction of a beach volleyball court. The court will be a symbol of how our class never forgot to have fun during a time of crisis and sickness, as well as recognizing the importance of community and building school culture. Once again, thank you to our faculty and staff, and thank you, Millbrook.
Presenting the McSweeney Tour Guide Award, Mr. Ben Harf.
The class of 2023 has several members who have sacrificed their free time to share personal experiences with prospective students and families. This year's recipient does so in a particularly authentic, sophisticated, and convincing manner. This year's McSweeney Tour Guide Award goes to Charlie K. Each fall, I speak with a group of ambassadors to explain the importance of campus tours in the admission process. It is a defining factor for many prospective students and, quite frankly, can often sway their final decision. The value of a tour guide who develops a strong rapport with a family is priceless. Very quickly, I realized that Charlie instinctively understood the importance of being a Millbrook ambassador. Charlie began giving tours as a third former and quickly showed his knack for connecting with families there. Over the last 3 years, he has consistently led the ambassador group in his number of tours given and his willingness to connect with students and families alike. There is no job too small for Charlie. His smile and handshake provide comfort and excitement to nervous students, making them feel appreciated and wanted on campus. Charlie has given up countless hours of free time to do this with families from all around the globe. Here's a quote from a prospective family who Charlie toured this fall. Charlie was amazing, by far the best tour guide I've seen on any campus so far. From the moment we stepped on campus until we left, Charlie was well-informed, fun to talk with, honest, sincere, and you are lucky to have him. Charlie, it is obvious how much you value and care for Millbrook. You have transformed in your 4 years here, and you have left many families, students, and representatives excited about Millbrook and who we are. I'm confident you will continue to be a Millbrook ambassador for years to come, and I hope this experience motivates you to do the same in your next endeavors. Congratulations, and thank you.
Presenting the Dean's Prize, Miss Eve Whitehouse.
The Dean's Prize aims to honor those 3 and 4 seniors who, simply put it, have perfect attendance. I'd like to invite Andre Hadsma, Lucy Lee, Charlie K., and Avery Miller to join me on stage. Show up, turn it in, turn it up. This is our challenge from our head of school, Mr. Downs. These students next to me showed up. They all have perfect attendance. Yes, there are some excused absences since they are human beings who get ill from time to time. We did live through a pandemic. And yet, these students do not have a single unexcused absence during their entire time at Millbrook. If you look at this group of folks, they are people of integrity and discipline. In showing up with purpose and intention every day, they have been leaders in the classroom and throughout the community. Andre Hadsma channels commitment earnestly, joyfully, and diligently across the Millbrook campus. He is here, there, and everywhere because he cares deeply and wants to show it. Lucy Lee's perfect attendance showcases her commitment to excellence and growth in academics and in her extracurriculars. To grow, Lucy knows you must be present for all challenges. Charlie K. is relentless in his pursuit of integrity. Charlie shows up every day, not just because it is good for him, but more importantly, because it is the right thing to do. Avery Miller is exuberance personified. She shows pride in her community by showing up every day, no matter what the communal task may be. The first step to being a successful person and leader is to be present and to be on time. And the Dean's team congratulates these sixth formers for consistently doing just that in their time at Millbrook with the gift of a small chapel bell. Thanks and congratulations to you four.
Not small. It's not small.
Presenting the four-year varsity letter awards, followed by the Frederick W. Knutson trophies, Mr. Vincent Soriano.
Established by former faculty member James L. Jordy, this award is presented to any four-year student who lettered in the same varsity sport or sports for 4 consecutive years. I am proud to announce that this year there will be 23 recipients of this honor. The award is a testament to each student athlete's commitment to the athletic program at Millbrook. Will each of you please come forward when I call your name? And would the audience please hold their applause until the entire group is on stage? Morgan Ainley, field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. Leah Almeida, softball. Nico Bravetti, lacrosse. Nolan Cadu, lacrosse. You can come forward. Hannah Kuhn, cross country. Sophia DeStasio, soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. Alec Enchil, lacrosse. Phoebe Fisher, squash and tennis. Alex Frazier, lacrosse. Lucius Gibson Zavadel, basketball. Charlie Kay, golf. Liam Kennelly, basketball. Margot Levine, golf. Ethan Medeiros, basketball and track and field. Ann Najork, softball. Beth Najork, basketball and softball. Johnny Rigolino, football and baseball. Julia Shereshevsky, field hockey and lacrosse. Forrest Schmidt, cross country. Shea Seven, tennis. Scout Swift, basketball. Theo Wilton, lacrosse. And Eliza Withers Clark, cross country and golf. The Frederick W. Knutson Trophy is awarded to a sixth form boy and girl who best represent what it means to be the most outstanding athletes in their class. In addition to exhibiting top-notch athletic ability, these students will have shown a commitment to academics, will have played at least 2 varsity sports, and will have demonstrated the integrity, leadership, and character that is fundamental to Millbrook's mission and spirit. Selected by Millbrook's varsity coaching staff, this year's winners of the Frederick W. Knutson Trophy are Morgan Ainley and Chris Diaz. Morgan and Chris, none of us are surprised to see the two of you on stage here this evening to receive the Knutson Award. During your time at Millbrook, each of you have fully embodied the school's motto of non sibi sed cunctus, not for oneself, but for all. You have left each program you've played for at Millbrook better than when you first arrived here on campus. But more importantly, you've been great teammates, role models, and leaders in this community, and ultimately, that is why you share the stage here tonight. Morgan has been one of the most selfless, steady, and impactful student athletes I have seen in my time at the school. In her 4 years at Millbrook, she has been a member and a contributor on a varsity team in every season, earning the 12 maximum varsity letters, playing field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. In field hockey, she was a captain and leader on a team that had 7 more wins this season than it did the previous year. In ice hockey, she was a rock, a steady presence in net, helping to lead the girls' ice hockey team to a 20-win season and a playoff bid. And in lacrosse, she was also a captain, played a new position, and was an impactful player on a team that also saw vast improvements. Morgan, you are an inspiration to all the student athletes at Millbrook. You are a leader, you are selfless, and you have left your mark on the Millbrook athletic program. Well done. Chris is a competitor. Yes, he's a phenomenal athlete, but the first word that comes to mind when I think of Chris is competitor. Whether it's on the basketball court or the baseball diamond, when you see Chris play, you'll find a talented young man who plays the game with sheer joy. On the baseball diamond, he has been a dominant force during his 2 seasons, helping our baseball program find consistent success. These past 2 springs, Chris has been one of the best, if not the very best center fielder in all of New England. And at the plate, Chris is a feared hitter with a beautiful swing. As his coach, Jack Harlan, puts it, the sound of the ball coming off of Chris's bat is a thunderous clap that seemingly echoes through every part of the school's campus. Chris, we all look forward to watching you play at the next level at Tulane University next year. Morgan and Chris, thank you so much for your commitment to the athletic program at Millbrook. We wish you the best of luck next year and beyond. Well done.
Presenting the Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup, Mr. Joe Racide.
This year's Abbott Cup winner is Henry Stafford. The Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup is named for Nathaniel Abbott, longtime teacher and administrator at Millbrook School. This prize is given in recognition of that student who has helped shape the spirit of the arts at Millbrook. My favorite stanza from a well-known poem, often attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson, defines success as winning the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. Henry won the respect of the Millbrook faculty and especially the respect of the art department, who voted unanimously in favor of Henry for this award. The department's broad support of Henry is, in part, a function of his varied contributions to our many programs. Henry dances, sings, acts, composes, arranges, writes, and choreographs. He modeled a gritty work ethic and a deep passion for the arts, and he encouraged his peers to be their best with persistent positivity and a belief in their ability to climb higher. But Henry's most substantial contributions, in my opinion, did not come from the many times he entertained us over the years. I would argue that Henry's legacy and the real secret to how he materially shaped the spirit of the arts at Millbrook can be found as invisibly glowing embers of joy that reside in the hearts of so many faculty children who had the great privilege of learning from and who felt seen and appreciated by Henry. These young children, including my 2 crazy little nuggets, would be smiling. You have to get at least one joke in there. Would be smiling broadly to see Henry up here winning this award, and they might even try to rush the stage to tickle him. What? That's true. I suspect even under these circumstances, Henry would make time for his young friends. Henry always made time for the little ones, and that matters the most because those little nuggets are going to grow into big nuggets. And it's going to happen fast. And when they do, they will be giving their all in our classes, just like Henry. And if we're really lucky, they'll be making time to teach and see the little ones. Henry, my arts department colleagues and I are grateful for your devotion to Holbrook, to Millbrook, and to our children. Congratulations on winning the 2023 Abbott Cup Award.
Now, presenting the English Writing Prize and the English Poetry Prize, Mr. Louis Fewer.
Good evening. So I'll begin with the Writing Prize and then move into the Poetry Prize. Each spring, the English department invites sixth form students to submit a writing portfolio that displays their strength and range as young writers. On behalf of my colleagues, I'd like to thank all of the sixth formers who submitted their essays, poems, research papers, chapel talks, and even published scientific articles. This year, the winner of the English Writing Prize is Hannah Kuhn. In her Writing Prize portfolio, Hannah transforms her own impatience with Hamlet's bloodlust into an unexpected exploration of tenderness. She then pivots satirically to critique capitalism's grip on the American worker, before unfolding a collection of poems that are experimental, personal, and embody range. And now the Poetry Prize. Hannah, just stay where you are. Hannah has been the recipient of the English Poetry Prize for the past 2 years. This spring, when students from all forms were invited to submit their single strongest poem to be considered for the prize, 2 poems stood out among the excellent submissions that we received. Someone took Hannah's challenge at assembly at heart. The winners of this year's Poetry Prize are Will Zelavansky and Hannah Kuhn. Before I say a few words about each poet's poems, I'd first like to thank Sarah Macwright for helping with the printing of these broadsides. And I'd also like to thank Will and Hannah for their contributions to writing at Millbrook. Hannah has been a fixture of the writing community on campus, even when her third form poems were shared secretly. And Will has been behind the scenes, designing and organizing The Mill, our literary magazine, for the past 3 years. Both of you have supported and inspired an impressive community of young writers, and we are so grateful for all that you've done. This past Wednesday, when Will read his winning poem, Transients, at the last Lit Showcase of the year, he introduced the work with the image of a swimmer in an epigraph from Fitzgerald's Tender is the Night. In the poem, Will's speaker links their first musical urges to the intuitive movements of the body. Tight fists, gripping and grappling, and the hazy, free jazzing, stroking through the surface of the water in a graceful act of survival. Will expresses the necessity of music as movement and therefore life. He writes, "To exist simply is to work, jerk, kick, and crackle. With each beat, the water bows, and a low sound escapes." Hannah's past winning poems have explored a similar need for expression and voice, and this year's entry was no different. Shaped as a 3x3 pastel-colored grid, Hannah's poem, "Girlhood for the 1,000th Time," captures within each cell a certain exasperation. You can hear it in the title. The tension in Hannah's composition runs deep. The soft colors invite like a board game, while the text within renders the mundane violence of social expectations pressed upon young women. To follow the poet's instructions and read any square in any order leaves you feeling caught in the trap of gender performance. Hannah's nod to Judith Butler. A speaker in the poem asks, "What is girlhood?" but pleading to be heard. No answer. So the speaker asks, "What is girlhood?" but reliving it 1,000 times over. Congratulations to both Hannah and Will.
Presenting the Sykes Mathematic Prize, Mrs. Martha Clisby.
Ooh, I gotta put these on. There is a phrase that we truly detest in the math department, and that phrase is, "I'm bad at math." Ari Hahn, Nathan Rebella, and Lucy Lee have been chosen to receive the Sykes Mathematics Prize this year because they have spent their time at Millbrook modeling ways to become good at math. And here's what you can learn from them. Come on up, kids. You stand over there. You're farthest from me. Nathan, come. And Lucy, come here. No, Lucy, come over here. Okay. Lucy is emphatic when she says, "Believe in yourself." Just because you fail at first to understand the problem, read it again. If you are still stuck, exhaust your resources. Look for similar problems online or a video tutorial. She actually emailed me an entire flowchart of how to get unstuck from a difficult problem. She did. Lucy brought this determination and positivity to every math class at Millbrook, and it was infectious. Nathan would tell you to keep it simple. Yeah, wait. Okay. All right. Sometimes we overcomplicate solutions by allowing a problem to intimidate us. Nathan described such a time to me. He decided to talk through the problem with someone who knew nothing about the subject, and in breaking the problem down, he realized that the solution was actually quite simple. Nathan embraced this technique in his math classes and enhanced the work of those around him. And finally, advice from Ari. Don't swallow magnets. But be curious, just not that curious. In his freshman year, Ari was placed in honors pre-calculus. He was bored in the class because too much of it was already known to him, and he wanted to explore new material. So he asked to be switched into intro to calculus. He was not at all concerned that he was going from an honors section to an on-level section. He just wanted to learn new material. After completing BC Calculus, RA decided to take linear algebra rather than the more traditional route of multivariable calculus, again, because he was curious and he didn't care about prestige or convention. If you are one of the many people who consider yourself bad at math, please listen to these students and think again. Can you turn over your sheets? Turn them over. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you to the three of you for sharing your wisdom, determination, and curiosity with us, and congratulations.
Presenting the Clark Language Prize, Dr. Donna Canada Smith.
The Clark Language Prize is given in memory of Margaret and Renee Clark, French teachers from 1954 to 1973. It is awarded to the graduate or graduates who have demonstrated excellence in modern language in areas that were the hallmarks of the Clark's teaching, oral proficiency and cross-cultural understanding. It was first given in 1985. The 2023 Clark Language Prize recipient this year is Forrest Schmidt. Learning a language is about communication, personality, lifestyle, and culture. It is about a willingness to uproot everything you know in pursuit of self-discovery and cross-cultural understanding. We hope that students will leave Millbrook's program with an awareness of the world beyond themselves and with a passion for and the skills to use the language beyond the classroom. Forrest has done just that. He demonstrates an eagerness to learn that is combined with creativity and analytical rigor. He is not afraid to jump straight into the deep end, to use his words, and to fully immerse himself in another language and culture. He has been a positive risk taker, transforming the skill-based communicative tasks he practiced in class into authentic conversations when he spent spring semester last year in Zaragoza, Spain. Here he had to move outside of his comfort zone and embrace others' perspective, which allowed him to gain new views on the world around him. In the classroom, Forrest is an empathetic leader who uses his language skills to bring people together and to create an inclusive learning space. The World Language Department is thrilled to present the 2023 Clark Language Prize to Forrest because of his relentless pursuit of linguistic knowledge and quest for an informed awareness of Spanish culture. Congratulations. We are so proud of all that you have accomplished, and we cannot wait to hear about your next big adventures.
Presenting the Frank W. Trevor Cup and the Science Prize, Mr. Jonathan Howe.
Good evening and thank you. The Frank W. Trevor Cup is awarded to a member of the graduating class who has made the most significant contributions through study, project, and zoo work to the natural sciences and environmental stewardship at the Millbrook School. I'm thrilled to present this award to two exceptionally worthy students, Ann Najork and Hannah Kuhn. Come on back. Welcome back to the stage. My science heroes have always been adventurers like Jane Goodall and Millbrook's own Thomas Lovejoy, scientists whose passion led them to steamy jungles and far-flung reefs, whose curiosity compelled them to seek answers despite the sometimes uncomfortable, dangerous, or tedious demands of data collection. We honor this spirit in Anne and Hannah's zoo work, their science classes, and their independent science research projects. Both students are four-year zooies, co-head zoo curators, and both have excelled in their many science courses. And while this is special, it's not just their participation in these endeavors that sets them apart, it's their passion and maturity within this realm. It's no surprise to us that Dr. T brought them to this year's American Zoological Association conference, but it certainly was surprising to the other zoo professionals there to see such young and experienced scientists. Anne and Hannah exemplify a dedication to the natural sciences. For Anne, the zoo has been a second home here at Millbrook, and what better home for someone who aspires to be a veterinarian? Her supervisors share that of all the students at Millbrook, she has shadowed our veterinarian more than any other student. I taught Anne in advanced biology this year, and she was once late to class. I said, "Where were you?" And she said, "I was helping vaccinate a baby red panda." And I submit this as the most outlandish yet true excuse for being late in the history of high school. During her Millbrook Engage experience, Anne worked on socializing kittens at the ASPCA, further testament to her dedication to caring for and studying animals. And for Anne's ISR project, she designed and conducted her own original experiment in which she investigated the use of live prey on red wolf behavior. Kittens, wolves, and zoo conferences, Anne clearly exemplifies the dedication to the natural world that the Trevor Cup celebrates. Hannah was active at the zoo even before she got here, volunteering at the age of 12. And while Hannah is quite serious about the zoo, her incredible intellect comes with a heaping pile of humor as well. For example, Hannah's Millbrook Engaged Chapel Talk described her experience studying stress levels in marmosets, and she offered the following wisdom, quote, "If you ever find yourself doing research with marmosets, there are two things you need to know. One, they will pee on you. And two, no matter how many showers you take, you will always smell like them." In a podcast about her zoo work, Hannah shared that she chose Millbrook for the unique opportunity that the zoo provides. But her curiosity goes well beyond the zoo, as a two-time now winner of the English Department Poetry Prize. As poet-scientist, Hannah walks in the footsteps of my favorite scientist of all time, the poet, Mary Oliver. Miss Oliver keenly observed the natural world, sought meaning and pattern in its complexities, and communicated those secrets to the rest of us. Miss Oliver would surely have won the Trevor Cup if she were here, so Anne and Hannah, I conclude with some advice from her to you from her poem, Sometimes. Instructions for living a life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. Congratulations again, we're all so proud of you. All right, next one. I'd now like to present the Science Department Award. The Science Prize is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated achievement, curiosity, and creative thinking in exploring scientific concepts, whose enthusiasm has acted as a catalyst in furthering scientific understanding and dialogue, and who clearly strives for excellence in all science disciplines. It is my pleasure and honor to present this award to Lucy Lee. I don't have cool construction paper, I'm sorry. Though there was stiff competition for this award, given this talented group of seniors, the description of this prize fits Lucy so well. Lucy has truly excelled in each of her very many science classes. Her ninth grade physics teacher described Lucy as impressive and inspiring. The following year in chemistry, Miss Martin described Lucy's enthusiasm and curiosity as infectious, and remarked that Lucy was a leader and an excellent communicator, an important skill in science. This year in advanced biology, I don't think she missed a single question, maybe a couple, but even after acing a test, she stayed after so we could further discuss the complexities of protein folding and structure. This is the curiosity and joy that we science teachers dream of. Lucy's inquisitive nature and enthusiasm for learning transcend her science courses. Working in a hospital for her Millbrook Engage experience helped Lucy set her sights on a career in the medical field. For her independent science research project, Lucy investigated screen time and its impacts on attention spans. Lucy's experimental design was impeccable, and her presentation was clear and engaging. And she does all of this with a smile and a joy that is, like Ms. Martin said, infectious. Lucy, this award is so well-deserved. We wish you a lifetime of curiosity, and it makes me so happy to think of the excitement that you'll bring to your science classes in college and beyond. Congratulations again. It has been a joy to teach you this year.
Presenting the Blaine History Essay Prize, Miss Lindsay Peterson.
Each year, the History Department awards the Blaine Essay Prize to the senior who writes the best essay in a senior elective. This year, the finalists chosen by the department were Hannah Kuhn, Julia Shereshevsky, Michaela Vidiello, Eric Wang, and Theo Wilton. This year's winner, chosen by our outside reader, Professor Adrian Conyers of Marist College, is Michaela Vidiello. These finalists embodied exactly what we hoped for in these essays. You examined big questions of our time with insightful analysis, made us think, and drew bold conclusions. Hannah argued that in order to address the issue of racial health disparities in the United States, we need to understand the mind-body connection of racism and healthcare. Julia advocated for a legal path for climate migrants to enter the United States. She argued that the U.S. has both a moral obligation and the resources to help people who need to move due to climate change events that are in part the fault of the U.S. Eric reflected on the connection between the use of swear words and male-female gender relationships, arguing that the increased use of feminine obscenities by men is a way to assert their social dominance over women by shaming the female body. Theo made the argument for why it is essential for the U.S. government to increase its subsidies and incentives for electric vehicles to help the country transition the auto industry towards EV adoption. See what I mean? These papers took on the big questions of our day. Michaela's paper was no exception. Michaela's paper, written for the Immigration and Migration class, tackled the issue of human smuggling and trafficking. She argued that in order to solve this complex problem, the United States must first recognize why their past attempts have not worked and then shift to a different approach. In analyzing why past solutions were unsuccessful, Michaela talks about how human trafficking has been perpetuated by U.S. companies who have turned a blind eye in the name of financial gain. It is crucial, Michaela argues, for the government to hold these companies accountable for their actions. Michaela next debunks the argument that increased border security would lessen the amount of human smuggling. The data shows quite the opposite. The more the U.S. tries to tighten the border, the more human smugglers take on increased risk. The basis of Michaela's claim is that the U.S. response needs to be in line with the reasons people are subjecting themselves to the dangers of being smuggled in the first place. Michaela's conclusion is that the U.S. should increase its foreign aid to address the push factors that lead people to flee. She points to historical success stories and showing why this is the right solution. The outside reader appreciated that Michaela's paper was innovative in its second solution proposed in particular, an informational campaign that would work to dissuade migrants from risking the journey to the U.S. Overall, Michaela put together a comprehensive and persuasive argument for how the U.S. should address the complex issue of human smuggling and undocumented immigration. Congratulations to Michaela and to all the finalists, and thank you for giving us hope that future generations can take on the big complexities of our time.
Presenting the Emily Roosevelt Class of 1987 Public Service Award, Reverend Cam Hardy with Liam Full from the Class of 2025.
It is said of my mother, Emily Roosevelt, Millbrook class of 1987, that empathy, inquisitiveness, courage, and determination defined her daily life. Her drive to serve took many forms in her professional life, as a lawyer and in her private life, taking care of her 2 children, Mason and Liam, and her husband, Peter. But most significantly, in working with the Department of the Interior for public land issues and as an advocate for organ donors, as she herself was a recipient of a new heart several years ago. When my mom died suddenly in 2010, my grandparents, Chris and Roddy Roosevelt, determined that the best way to remember her is to recognize and encourage inquisitiveness, determination, and public service in students attending my mother's alma mater. The Emily Roosevelt Public Service Prize is now established and awarded by the faculty to a member of the 6th form who best exemplifies public service. There were 5 nominees for the class of 2023, while Hannah Kuhn, Nate Rebello, Mary Salami, or Salome.
It's okay, Salam.
Salame, and J.D. Whiting each have contributed to public life in significant ways. The Roosevelt Prize Committee felt that one nominee went above and beyond in every dimension of his life. Would Andre Hazma please come to the stage?
Andre, your teachers and coaches had a hunch that you would be engaged in public service when you're not here on campus because of who you are here. Kind, optimistic, always looking for ways to help, and you're everywhere. Ambassador, tour guide, tutor, assistant teacher in Spanish classes, helping with alumni and development initiatives, behind the scenes live streaming and announcing school games, Friday Council, Model UN, helping other kids with their service projects, even helping your mom's students in the academic center. So we did a little investigative research and found our instincts were spot on. We learned from family members and friends of Andre that he volunteered every week at his local senior services agency in New Hampshire, does food and clothing drives for those same communities, and yard work, errands, and tech support for elderly neighbors who consider him to be one of their best friends, and refusing to be paid for any of this, Spanish translation and general help for a recent immigrant from Central America. Even on family trips, he played games, taught English, and shared in conversation with orphaned children in rural China, visited schools and families in Colombia and Panama, and in each moment and in each community he experiences, Andre finds ways to truly engage with others. It is common practice for him to strike up conversations with total strangers, asking how their day is going. And he doesn't just ask to be polite, he genuinely cares to know how they are, often engaging in meaningful conversation and always leaving the person smiling. Through the personal connections he makes every day, conscious of the needs of others, Andre serves to lift people's spirits and inspire rather than make them feel indebted. He teaches us to be slow to judge, to help others, to spread kindness, to listen, and to care. Congratulations, Andre.
Presenting the senior honor roll, Miss Jarrett Clark.
I will now read the names of those 6 formers who earned a spot on the year-end honor roll. Seniors, when I read your names, please stand and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Morgan Ainley,
John Almazo, Aaliyah Almeida, Charlie Bertucci, Maddie Bachniak, Rocco Boland, Cosmas Brandenburg, Nico Brevetti, Nolan Kaju, Nick Chun, Juliette Cook, Hannah Kuhn, Sophia DeStasio, Alec Enchil, Rogan Fauci, Phoebe Fisher, Alex Frazier, Justin Galarza, Bliss Gooding, Sophia Grace, Nola Greenberg, Andre Hadzima, Ari Hahn, Reese Judson, Remy Kalmbach, Charlie Kay, Liam Kennelly, Zach Keschner, Connor Koropatnicki, Charlie Lehner, Lucy Lee, Caroline McCarthy, John McLaughlin, Avery Miller, Toby Morrow, Ann Najork, Beth Najork, Ryan Pink, Claire Powers, Nathan Rebello, Sam Renaud, Marie Salame, Nikki Salick, Julia Shereshevsky, Forrest Schmidt, Luca Saracen, Henry Stafford, Scout Swift, Campbell Thomas, Grace Turnbull, Dan Urban, Gabe Vasallo, Michaela Vidiello, Zach Walsh, Eric Wong, JD Whiting, Sam Weeder, Theo Wilton, Natalie Wise, Eliza Withers Clark, Pearl Wright, and Will Zelavansky. Congratulations to all of you.
Presenting the Head of School's Merit Award and the Class of 1978 Award, Mr. John Downs.
The citation for the Head of School Merit Awards reads, "To that senior whose personal strengths and contributions merit special recognition." Tonight, I want to honor 6 seniors whose range of strengths and contributions are worthy and deserving. John Almalzo, Claire Powers, Johnny Rigolino, Grace Turnbull, Gabe Vasallo, and Natalie Wise. Please come to the stage. Okay, line up here. The first reason I want to specially recognize John, Johnny, Gabe, Claire, Grace, and Natalie is because I'd bet my bottom dollar that none of them expected to be up here right now. In a world that can be way too braggadocious, I admire the humility in each and every one of you. The second reason I want to specially recognize John, Johnny, Gabe, Claire, Grace, and Natalie is because you represent the kindness of your class. Maybe you fooled me, but you all strike me as deeply earnest and kind. In a world that can be mean, I admire the kindness in each and every one of you. And the third reason I want to especially recognize John, Johnny, Gabe, Claire, Grace, and Natalie is because it is my sense that your peers and our faculty simply like being around you. In a world that can be isolating, fragmented, and disconnected, you have a way of bringing people together because by nature or by nurture, you are gentle, caring, and well-mannered. John, Johnny, Gabe, Claire, Grace, and Natalie, thank you for being you. Congratulations. The Class of 1978 Award. In 1978, Millbrook was in tough shape. Enrollment was low, and morale was even lower. the school desperately needed someone to rise up, to build enthusiasm, to make the best of a situation. The class of '78 did just that, and the faculty created this award in their honor. Elected by the full faculty and presented annually to a member of the sixth form, the Class of 1978 Award celebrates that person whose spirit and enthusiasm have significantly enhanced the traditions of Millbrook School. In a time and in a world that is in rough shape, we too needed someone to rise up, build enthusiasm, and make the best of a situation. On behalf of my colleagues, I am delighted to present the Class of 1978 Award to two deserving students, Liam Kennelly and Henry Stafford. Well, this is an odd couple. I'm gonna have some fun with this one. Liam, when I first saw you in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, I knew we were in for 4 years of musical magic. After that show, Liam, you delivered and delivered and delivered. Monday morning melodies, arts nights, musical showstoppers, a central role in Millbrook Singers. You built a score, a body of work that took us through a wonderful journey of music and soul that we will never forget. We were there, Liam, not square like a chessboard. Henry, your handle on the court is pure poetry. The no-look passes, the poise under pressure, the elegance with which you shoot a three. Henry, the fact that you averaged more than 4 assists a game for 3 straight years evidences your selflessness. And the fact that you averaged over 6 rebounds per game at your size is unreal. I was astonished that you two were selected by the faculty for the 1978 award, and first thought, what a range of representation of this class. What completely different human beings. And then I began to write about each of you, and I had an epiphany. The court is the stage, and the stage is the court. There is undeniable common ground in your leadership and approach to life. So who am I describing, Henry or Liam? An extreme ability to have hyper-focus on whatever it is you want to accomplish. An ability, maybe even an acceptance of shutting the rest of the world out to do what needs to be done. Relentless and sometimes painful positivity. Equally happy to be sitting alone in the dining hall or sitting around dozens of friends, it doesn't matter. Meticulous obsession over details of what happens in and out of the classroom. Tough courses, great grades, careful and succinct language, brevity. Liam or Henry? Henry or Liam? When you approach life like these two, do you know what happens in return? You win a crowd. You capture respective audiences. They want to see you play again and again and again. You are the 1978 award winners because we want to be in your audience. Call it a buzzer beater or a showstopper. It is clear to me that you two are winners who, through your own pursuits of excellence, have inspired the class of 2023 and this whole school to want to be on your team and be a part of your cast and crew. Congratulations. Before we close with announcements, I want to ask for your help in wishing farewell and Godspeed to the members of the Millbrook faculty and staff who, like the seniors, will leave us at the end of this year. to pursue new adventures and opportunities. Our faculty, Kate Baker, Donna Canada Smith, Sky Cassiano, Jacques Hui, Cora McKenzie, Alden Medunin, Greg Rice, Deanna Sandoval, Stephanie Sweeney, Teddy Wecker, and Luke Westman. I want to give a special thanks, retiring from our admissions office after 15 years, Wendy Greenfield. So a few announcements. Seniors, proceed immediately to the chapel for last night's service. Parents, you are cordially invited to a reception with desserts on the class of 2023 terrace outside of Anthony House. 2022 terrace outside of Casertano Hall. Your sixth form children will join you after our chapel service. Underformers, dorms immediately. You are all invited to join in the annual pre-commencement school run led, as usual, by Dr. T. We will gather tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. at the flagpole, and we will be on our way at 7:30 a.m. Finally, and most important, Millbrook's 90-second commencement exercises will begin tomorrow promptly at 11 a.m. Parents, family, and friends, please be seated by 10:45 a.m. This concludes our program. Good night.